Daf Yomi, Daf Yomi, Daf Yomi. We finished Tractate Shavuot and we start Tractate Avodah Zarah. And today officially is still the page 49 of Shavuot, but I try to do the daf a day ahead, so I'm starting tomorrow's daf today. The time is 3:58 p.m. 3:58. For those familiar with Gematria, 3:58 starts Avodah Zarah, the holy Avodah Zarah. And let's get started with Masechet Avodah Zarah at 3:58 and now 3:59 p.m. Page 2, and it's really page 1. It's page number 1, but it's the letter. It's numbered as page 2 for many reasons. And I'm just gonna plug this in. Plug it in. And Daf Yomi, Avodah Zarah, two. Sagt der Heilige Mishne, לפני עדיהן של גויים, 3 ימים, אסור לשאת ולתת עמהם, להשאילן ולשאול מהן, להלוותן וללוות מהן, לפורען ולפרוע מהן. רבי יהודה אומר, נפרעים מהן מפני שמצרו לו. אמרו לו, אף על פי שמצרו עכשיו, שמח הוא לאחר זמן. The Mishnah says, on the 3 days before the festivals of Gentiles, the following actions are prohibited, as they would bring joy to the Gentile, who would subsequently give thanks to his object of idol worship on his festival. It is prohibited to engage in business with them. Oh, I should make a disclaimer, by the way, as I have in various other tractates and Masechtas. Tractate means Masechta. That when I read things that may be controversial, that have to do with Jews and Gentiles and this and that, I want to let it be known that it is not my opinion that I'm reading. I'm just reading the text. So I'm not saying that categorically from my own opinion. I'm just reading the text. It doesn't reflect my own opinion. And with that, we say in the Mishnah that it is prohibited to engage in business with them, to lend items to them or to borrow items from them, to lend money to them or to borrow money from them, and to repay debts owed to them or to collect repayment of debts from them. Rabbi Yehuda says one may collect repayment of debts from them because this causes them to distress, means it's not making them happy. The rabbi said to Rabbi Yehuda, even though he is distressed now, when he repays the money, he is happy afterward that he is relieved of the debt, and therefore there is concern that he will give thanks to his idolatry on his festival, his idol on his festival. Okay, that's the Mishnah. And now the Gemara. The Gemara says, Rav Shmuel, Chatani Edehen, V'Chatani Edehen. One with an ayin and one with an aleph. One with an aleph, one with an ayin. Ma ditani Edehen lo mishtabesh, or ma ditani Edehen lo mishtabesh. Rav and Shmuel disagree with regard to the correct version of the text of the Mishnah. One teaches the term meaning their festivals, Edehen, spelled with an aleph, as the first letter, and one teaches Edehen with an ayin as the first letter. The Gemara comments, the one who teaches Edehen with an aleph is not mistaken, and the one who teaches Eidehan with an ayin is not mistaken, as there is support for each version of the term. Man detani Eidehan no mishtabesh, dichtiv ki karov yom edam, uman tani Eidehan no mishtabesh, dichtiv yitnu Eidehan yitzdaku. The Gemara elaborates, the one who teaches Eidehan with an aleph is not mistaken, as it is written, for their day of their calamity is at hand, Eidehan, Deuteronomy 32:35. And the future downfall mentioned in the verse is partly due to the festivals of idol worshippers. The term there is spelled with an aleph, and likewise, the one who teaches Eidehan with an ayin is not mistaken, as it is written, let them bring their witnesses, Eidehan, with an ayin, that they may be justified, Isaiah 43, verse 9, meaning the festivals will serve as witnesses against Gentile sinners, proving that they engaged in idol worship. The term there is spelled with an ayin. Uma nitani Eidehan, my time lo shani Eidehan, amalach, tivara adif. Uma nitani Eidehan, my time lo tani Eidehan, amalach, man kagarim la hu tavara, edut she'idu be'atzman hilkach edut adifa. The Gemara asks, and according to the one who teaches Eidehan with an aleph, what is the reason that he did not teach Eidehan with an ayin? The Gemara answers, he could have said to you that a term that refers to a calamity is preferable. The Gemara asks, and the one who teaches Eidehan with an ayin, what is the reason that he did not teach Eidehan with an aleph? The Gemara answers, he could have said to you, what causes this calamity to happen to them? It is the testimony that they testified against themselves. Therefore, a term that references testimony is preferable. שנאמר, יתנו עדיהם יזנקו. אלו ישראל ישמעו ויאמרו אמס. אלו ומויסה אוילם. The Gemara asks, but is this verse, let them bring witnesses that they may be justified, written with regard to the nations of the world? Isn't it written with regard to the Jewish people? As Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi says, all the mitzvot that the Jews perform in this world will come and bear witness for them in the world to come, as it is stated. Let them bring their witnesses that they may be justified. These are the Jews, as their good deeds bear witness for them and demonstrate their righteousness. When the verse states, and let them hear and say it is truth, Isaiah 43 verse 9, these are the nations of the world who will admit to the righteousness of the Jews. Ela amar Rav Huna v'Rav Yehoshua, man de amar Eidehan mehacha. יוצרי פסל כולם תוהו וחמודיהם בל יועילו בידיהם המה. Rather, Rav Huna, son of Yehoshua, said, the one who says that the correct word is Eidehan with an ayin derived this use of the term from here. They that fashion the graven image are all of them vanity, and their delectable things shall not profit. And their own witnesses, Eidehan, see not nor know. Isaiah 44:9. This demonstrates that the objects of idol worship will serve as witnesses against their worshippers. דורש רב חנינא בר פפא, ייתם הרב סמלאי. לעתיד לבוא מביא הקדוש ברוך הוא ספר תורה ומניחו בחיקו ואומר, למי שעסק בה יבוא וייטול שכרו. The Gemara cites homiletic interpretations of the verse that was discussed earlier. All the nations are gathered together, and let the peoples be assembled. Who among them can declare this and announce to us former matters? Let them bring their witnesses, that they may be justified, and let them hear and say it is truth. Isaiah 43 verse 9. Rabbi Chanina bar Papa taught, and some say that it was. Rabbi Simlai, who taught in the future, the Holy One, blessed be He, will bring a Torah scroll and place it in his lap and say, anyone who engaged in its study should come and take his reward. Miyad mikad mitkabtzin v'ayinu mosoilam be'erbuvia shenemar kol hagoyim nikbetzu yachdav v'gomer. Omer lahem HaKadosh Baruch Hu al tikanzu lefanai be'erbuvia el tikanes kol huma v'huma. Immediately the nations of the world will gather together and come intermingled with each other. As it is stated, all the nations are gathered together, and let the peoples be assembled. The Holy One, blessed be He, will say to them, do not enter before me intermingled. Rather, let each and every nation enter. And now return to Beis and Beis. Avodah Zarah 2b. And as you probably have noticed, the background is different, and I'm seeing in a different position at the table, different direction. And this was what I originally had in mind to start the new Masechta off, but I forgot about it, and so I figured might as well get at least the first daf, at least the second half of the first daf in this place, and so this will start in the new direction. So far, the past few Masechtas have each been at a different direction. So anyway, here we go. We're on 2b, or not to be. That is the question. But it's 2 daf b. Beis on the page, top of the page, and the words V'sofreha, Svesofreha. And so it was continuing from before. The previous daf said that all the nations will. It says that. In the future, God will bring a Torah scroll and put it in his lap and say anyone who engaged in study should come and take his reward. And then it says the nations of the world will gather together and come intermingle with each other. And as it's stated, all the nations are gathered together, and let the peoples be assembled. And the Holy One, blessed be He, will say to them, do not enter before me intermingled. Rather, let each and every nation enter with their scholars. Okay, now we're on top of B, 2b. The Sofer shneimar v'yasu leumim ve'en la'om el al malchus shneimar om elom yamatz u'mika buvia kame HaKadosh Baruch Hu el ki hechi de la yarbu inhu b'hadi adadi dilishmeu mai de'amaru. So their scholars all come separately, as it is stated, and let the peoples be assembled. Isaiah 43 verse 9, and let the term la'om means nothing other than kingdom, as it is stated, and one kingdom shall be stronger than the other kingdom. Om yamatz, Genesis 25:23, concerning Jacob and Esau. The Gemara asks, but is it possible for there to be intermingling before the Holy One, blessed be He, that it should be necessary for each nation to stand and be addressed separately? Rather, the nations are instructed to stand separately so that they will not become intermingled with each other, in order that they will each hear what He says to them. Miyad. I mean, it's kind of a question here, because the Talmud was saying that, so to speak, Hashem would come with a Torah, and whoever was involved in it, and then the nations come immediately and come to speak with Hashem. But is that suggesting that the nations are involved in Torah? I mean, it seems to be, because they weren't involved in Torah, then they wouldn't have any claim. They wouldn't be able to stand before God. So why does the Gemara say that they're standing before God now? Okay, it's a question. מיד נכנסה לפני מלכוס חוי מתחילה מהתיימה, משום דחשיבה מן לחשיבה דכסיב, ותחול כל ותדושינה ותתקינה. אמר רבי יוחנן, זו מחייבת שתיבה, יצא בכל העולם. Immediately the Roman Empire enters first before him. The Gemara asks, what is the reason that the Roman Empire enters first? It is because the Roman Empire is the most important of all the nations. And from where do we derive that it is the most important? As it is written in the book of Daniel with regard to the fourth empire that will rule over the world. And it shall devour the whole earth, and it shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Daniel 7:23. And Rabbi Yochanan says, this empire that will devour the earth is the wicked Roman Empire whose name spread throughout the world. Uminalan deman nechashivayal mereshe k'derab chizda de'amar chizda melech b'tzibur melech nichnas t'chilo ladin שנאמר לעשות משפט עבדו ומשפט עמו ישראל בגומר ותיממי איבא ידמה לאו אורח ערד למיטב מלכן מאבראי ואיבא ידמה מקמא דלפוש חרון אף. The Gemara asks, and from where do we derive that whoever is more important enters first? This is in accordance with a statement of Rav Chizda. As Rav Chizda says, when a king and a community are brought before God for judgment, the king enters for judgment first, as it is stated that he may. Sounds reminding me of Tractate Rosh Hashanah. It might be the same thing there. It sounds familiar. Certainly Rav Chizda shows up early on there, I think. The king enters for judgment first, as it is stated, that he make the judgment of his servant and the judgment of his people Israel, as every day shall require. 1 Kings 8:59. And what is the reason that it is important for the king to enter first? If you wish, say that it is not proper conduct for the king to stand outside and wait for the trial of his subjects to end. And if you wish, say instead that the king is brought in first so that he may be judged before God's anger intensifies due to the sins of the community. Amar lahem HaKadosh Baruch Hu במה עסקתם אומרים לפניו ריבונו של עולם הרבה שווקים תקנינו הרבה מרחצויס עשינו הרבה כסף וזהב הרבנו וכולם לא עשינו אלא בשביל ישראל כדי שיעסקו בתורה. The Gemara returns to its narration of the future judgment. First, the members of the Roman Empire enter. The Holy One, blessed be He, says to them, with what did you occupy yourselves? They say before him in response, Master of the universe, we have established many marketplaces, we have built many bathhouses, and we have increased much silver and gold. And we did all this only for the sake of the Jewish people, so that they would be free to engage in Torah study. Amar lehem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, shoitim sheboilam. כל מה שעשיתם לצורך עצמכם עשיתם. תקנתם שווקים נהושי בוין זוינס, מרחצויס, לידם בם עצמכם. כסף וזהב שלי הוא, שנאמר, לי הכסף ולי הזהב, נאום השם צבאויס. The Holy One, blessed be He, says to them, fools of the world, are you attempting to deceive me? Everything that you did for your own needs. You established marketplaces to place prostitutes in them. You built bathhouses for your own enjoyment. And as for the silver and the gold that you claim to increase, it is mine. As it is stated, mine is the silver and mine is the gold, said the Lord of hosts. Haggai 2:8. Klum yesh bachem magid zot, shene'emar mi bachem yagid zot, ve'en zot el ha'torah, shene'emar v'zot ha'torah, asher sam Moshe, miyad yatsu b'pachei nefesh. Is there no one among you who can declare that they have studied this Torah? This is the meaning of the continuation of the verse from Isaiah, as it is stated, who among them can declare this? Isaiah 43 verse 9. And this is referring to nothing other than Torah, as it is stated, and this is the Torah that Moses set before the children of Israel, Deuteronomy 4:44. And whoever did not engage in its study does not receive reward. Immediately, the members of the Roman Empire leave disappointed. Yatzat malchut Romi, v'nichnas malchus paras acharaya. My taima, deha chashiva batre, uminalan dichtiv, v'aru cheva achari tanyana damya ledov. V'taneh Rav Yosef, elu parsim, she'oichlin v'shoisin kedoiv, ומסורבלין בשר כדויב ומגדלין שיער כדויב ואין להם מנוחה כדויב. The Roman Empire leaves and the Persian Empire enters after it. What is the reason that the Persian Empire enters second? The reason is that after the Roman Empire it is the next most important. And from where do we derive this? As is written in Daniel's vision, and behold another beast, a second, like a bear. Daniel 7:5. And Rav Yosef teaches these are the Persians, who are compared to a bear, as they eat and drink copious amounts, as does a bear, and they are fleshy like a bear, and they grow their hair as long as does a bear, and they never rest, like a bear, which is constantly on the move from one place to another. How big gesharim gesharnu? How big krachim kavashnu? Harbe milchamot asinu? V'kulam lo asinu el b'shvil Yisrael kedei she'asku b'toira. The Holy One, blessed be He, says to them, with what did you occupy yourselves? They say before Him in response, Master of the universe, we have built many bridges, we have conquered many cities, and we have fought many wars. And we did all of this only for the sake of the Jewish people, so that they would engage in Torah study. Interesting. He calls according to this Gemara, it says that Hashem calls them shaitim, fools, but He doesn't call the Persians fools. I'm not sure why. Hashem ish milchama. Klum yesh bachem magid zot, shene'emar mi bachem yagid zot, ve'en zot el ha'torah, shene'emar v'zot ha'torah, asher sam Moshe yad yisov milfanav b'pachei nefesh. The Holy One, blessed be He, says to them, meaning the Persians, everything you did for your own needs. You established bridges to collect taxes from all who pass over them. You conquered cities to use their residents for forced labor. And with regard to fighting the wars, I wage wars, and your success is from me. As it is stated, the Lord is a man of war. Hashem ish milchama, Exodus 15 verse 3. Is there no one among you who can declare that they have studied this Torah? As it is stated, who among them can declare this? Isaiah 43:9. And this is referring to nothing other than the Torah, as it is stated. And this is the Torah that Moses set, Deuteronomy 4:44. Immediately, the members of the Persian Empire leave from before him, disappointed. וכי מאחד לחזית מלכוס פרס למלכוס רוימי תלא בהן יבלמידי מה תמריו אמרי אינו סתרי בית המקדש וענן בנינן חן לאומה ואומה. The Gemara asks, but once the Persian Empire sees that everything said by the Roman Empire is completely ineffective, what is the reason that they come forward? The Gemara answers, they believe that their claims will be more effective. As they say, the Romans destroyed the Second Temple, and we had built it, as the Second Temple was constructed under the auspices and with the encouragement of Cyrus, the king of Persia. The Gemara adds, and likewise a similar exchange occurred with each and every nation. The Gemara asks, but once the other nations see that everything said by the first ones, being Rome and Persia, is completely ineffective, what is the reason that they come forward? The Gemara answers that they think those empires subjugated the Jewish people, but we did not subjugate the Jewish people. The Gemara further asks, what is different about these, Rome and Persia, which were singled out explicitly, and what is different about those other empires that come afterward, which were not singled out and mentioned by name? It is because, with regard to these, Rome and Persia, their kingship extends until the coming of the Messiah. Wow, isn't that interesting? What we're dealing with right now, where Edom is a big player, Edom, which is like America, and Persia, it's like Iran, and they're very much in the, what's happening now, so it's kind of interesting. At any rate, ומי מציל מהאחי וכתיב ויאמר השם מסיני בא וזרח בשעיר למו וכתיב אלוה מתימן יבוא וגומר מאי באי בשעיר ומאי באי בפרעה. The nations will say before God, Master of the universe, did you give us the Torah and we did not accept it? Since we never received the Torah, why are we being judged for not fulfilling its mitzvot? The Gemara asks, and can one say that they were never offered the Torah? But isn't it written in the description of the giving of the Torah, and he said, the Lord came from Sinai and rose from Seir unto them. Deuteronomy 33 verse 2. And it is written, God comes from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Habakkuk 3:3. And the sages asked, what did God require at Seir, and what did he require at Paran? In Paran, the Torah was not given in those locations. Amar Yochanan melamed she'achzich HaKadosh Baruch Hu al kol umah b'lashon v'lo kibluha ad sheba etzel Yisrael v'kibluha. And Rabbi Yochanan says, this teaches that the Holy One, blessed be He, took the Torah around to every nation, and those who speak every language, such as the Edomites in Seir and the Ishmaelites in Paran, but they did not accept it until He came to the Jewish people and they accepted it. If the other nations all rejected the Torah, how can they excuse themselves by claiming that it was never offered to them? Ela hachi amri, klum kibalnuha velo kiyamanuha, ve'al da'at tivalton amai lo kabaltuha, ela kach omrim levanav, רבונו של עולם, כלום כגית עלינו, הר כגיגית, ולא קיבלוה כמו שעשית לישראל. Rather, this is what they say. Did we accept the Torah and then not fulfill its mitzvot? The Gemara asks, but this itself serves as a refutation of their own claim. As one can respond, why didn't you accept it? Rather, this is what the nations of the world say before the hymn. Master of the universe, did you overturn the mountain above us like a basin? And we still did not accept the Torah, as you did for the Jewish people. Dichtiv, ויתייצבו בתחתיתה. יאמר רב דיני בר חמא מלמד שקבע הקדוש ברוך הוא הר כגיגית על ישראל. ואמר להם, אם אתם מקבלים את התורה מוטב, ואם לאו, שם תהא קבועתכם. The Gemara provides the background for this claim, as it is written, and they stood at the other part of the mount, Exodus 19:17. And Rav Dimi Bar Chama says, the verse teaches that the Holy One, blessed be He, overturned the mountain, meaning Mount Sinai, above the Jews like a basin, and He said to them, if you accept the Torah, excellent, and if not, there, under the mountain, will be your burial. The nations of the world will claim that they too could have been coerced to accept the Torah. Miyad omer lahem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Harishonot yashmiunu, shneimar, Harishonot yashmiunu, Sheva mitzvot shekibaltem meichem keyamtem. Immediately the Holy One, blessed be He, says to them, the first mitzvot will let us hear the truth, as it is stated in the continuation of the same verse under discussion, and announce to us the first things, Isaiah 43 verse 9. With regard to the 7 Noachad mitzvot that preceded the giving of the Torah, that even you accepted, where is the proof that you fulfilled them? Umina lan lo kimu, detani Rabbi Yosef, עמד וימודד ארץ רעה ביתר גויים. מה רעה? רעה 7 מצוות שקיבלו עליהם בני נוח ולא קיימום. כיוון שלא קיימום, עמד והתירה להן. יתגור, אם כן מצינו חוטא נזכר. The Gemara asks, and from where do we derive that they did not fulfill them, as Rav Yosef teaches in explanation of the verse. He stands and shakes the earth, he sees and makes the nations tremble. Habakkuk 3:6. What did God see? He saw the 7 mitzvot that the descendants of Noah accepted upon themselves, and he saw that they did not fulfill them. Since they did not fulfill them, he arose and nullified for them the command to heed these mitzvot. The Gemara asks, do they gain from not obeying, as they are now released from their obligation to fulfill these mitzvot? If so, we find that a sinner profits from his transgression. Amar Mar Ravina, Mar the son of Ravina said,